Do you think the copyright law will be so helpful to the artist, or is it just another policy on paper?
Musicians are already celebrating, which is true, you have to celebrate. But my query is, what are you celebrating?
Welcome to Moment to Shine. It is Parliament Simplified Edition by Maureen.
Big news, Uganda Parliament passed the Copyright Amendment Bill and musicians are already celebrating. But hold on, is this victory premature? I don't know. Many of musicians like Shiba Kalonji, Eddie Kenzo, and all the UNMF association, they were there and the celebration was at hype. But guys, truth of the matter is, yes, it has been a lobby. You lobbied for so long. This has been a journey.
But who is the real beneficiary, the receipts, and how bills are actually passed in Parliament, step by step, and focusing on Clause 9.
Aim to protect intellectual property, especially in digital spaces, focusing on music, online content, and broadcasting rights, which is great and perfect for all of us. But again, the key point here is, this is about money, ownership, and control. Clause 9 mainly was focusing on collection of royalties. Osente, when royalties, it means the money that you're going to get from bars, public places like TV, radio, bars, and events. Abantu abo to use your music, they have to pay you some money. And I know with licensing requirements. Nti atasasudde license takozesa luyimba lwo kubanga batagenda kusasula kakati, meaning if your song is played publicly you should get paid. Okitegera gw'omuyimbi. But this thing is not all about only musicians. Naye lwakuba nti kyabayimbi kyekyaboominze. Nedda, all of us, let it be filmmakers, writers, photographers, all content creators, as long as you create your own content nga tokopye wa muntu nga buli kimu kikyo, that means you should get paid if someone uses your content. And even businesses have to pay for using your music. For example, a bar in Kampala playing songs equals paying licensing fees, implying that all bars, all DJs, all events to use a musician's song or to use a song must pay license. This money goes to artists through collecting bodies. Then stage 3. Who benefits, or who is to benefit into this? Because we all know musicians, yes, biggest winners, because in the creative industry, they are the biggest section. But again, more structured loyalty system. Income is to come from clubs, media houses, and streaming. And then other creatives like the filmmakers, photographers, and writers, they have also to get this. They have also to be part of this, and they have also to be paid if one uses your content. And then they also benefit from copyright enforcement. I know you're going to ask me who. I mean the producers, the photographers, the writers, the filmmakers, whatever content creator. You have also to benefit in this or from the copyright enforcement. Then collecting societies, gain more power in managing royalties. And then another thing is the demerits and risks. Let's be real. Not everything is perfect. First of all, weak enforcement. Uganda has laws, but enforcement is the problem. Piracy may continue. Second, corruption and mismanagement risk. Collecting bodies may be, collecting bodies, I mean the bodies that are going to collect those royalties or the monies, may underpay artists, may underpay creatives, and then lack of transparency. As you know, most of the things, whatever you see and whatever you realize that it is done in hidence in Uganda, manyanti waliwo echikumi wafuna, because most of the times, eranze chino nsaba busabi you people, in which omubadde mu copyright bill eno, if at all it is turned into a law, tusaba busabe nti the transparency that you've used for the transparency that you've used when lobbying for this law, I mean for this bill to be approved, banange, let it be the transparency be used okufuna loyalties ezo. And then another thing, small artists may lose out. Small artists, you may lose out because okusinzira nze ku ntegeera yange, according to my level of understanding, this bill is to benefit more of the big names, either they are going to dominate earnings than the upcoming artists. You may get very little, eranga you cannot weigh a 1 year experienced person to a 10 years experienced person in any field. So you people upcoming, you will get money, you'll get your loyalties, but in little sums. And for them, the bigger artists, the bigger names, the bigger wing in the music industry, they will get their loyalties in dominance. In big sums, this is what I'm trying to mean. Then the digital platforms not fully covered. I don't know why TikTok and YouTube monetization still unclear locally. Why celebrate before president signs the bill into a law? Why are you celebrating? Is the question. Why are you celebrating right now? The President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, must sign the bill into law. Reasons for early celebrations may, according to my understanding, is Parliament approval, which equals big milestone. Yes. Then confidence the President will sign. Hey, you mean the confidence is 360? The President will sign this into a law, and then symbolic victory after years of lobbying. Yes, that's true. Me, that's what I can say. But again, what if? But it is not yet a law until it is signed. What if the President delays or return this bill to Parliament? Celebrate less and celebrate moderate. You don't be overconfident that the President will sign this law, because naturally it is a process. I know everyone is going to be like, what about other creatives? Yes, many are still unsure and underinformed. The challenges, their lack of awareness, at least people have tried to. Poor organization and weak legal support. Musicians are louder, others are so quiet. I don't know why. But for this, everyone will benefit. Then another thing that I want to talk about is how Parliament passes a law in Uganda. You know, under Parliament of Uganda, the first step is first reading the bill introduced, no debate. And then the second step, committee stages, detailed scrutiny. This is a period where the bill is sent to the committee, the bill is sent to the committee. And then members on that committee start scrutinizing the bill clause by clause. And then sometimes they even go beyond and collect public minds, public opinions, so that they weigh what they consider as public input sometimes. And then stage 3 is the second reading of the bill. Debate on principle. MPs start arguing. This is where MPs raise their matters, their mind, their ideas, their opinions about the bill. It is on the second reading. And then step 4 is the third reading. And most of the times it's the final debate. Voting happens. When
Then make sure the quorum is enough. And when the biggest percentage says yeah, the bill is approved. When the biggest quorum says nah, the bill is disapproved.
that is done on stage or step 4, and that is what they call the third reading of the bill. 5 is a period where Parliament passes the bill and sends it to the President. Kakati. And then step 6 is presidential asset. Yoweri Museveni signs and it becomes a law. Normally, if not signed, if the president is not signed, the bill can be returned back to Parliament for more scrutiny or be delayed.